What up, it's your boy Marco from Upsidedown Studios. It is WTF Wednesday. How's everybody doing out there tonight? I am joined by my co-host here, Dino the Genetic Motherfucking Marvel from, we can't even say the deep dark streets because they all dark nowadays. So he's from Canada. He's from Canada.
They're more just brown now. It's we've been infiltrated by Indian people. So it's even the black people are angry about it. It's pretty funny, to be honest. It's all right.
Well, speaking of just, not the sidetrack from everything I wanted to talk about today, but just that in general, right before the show started. Did you know Netanyahu is not that dude's real name?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like his name is Mikakowski or Milowski or something. Yeah. He's Polish.
Yeah.
And he come from New York.
Yeah. Yet somehow he's I'm the most Israeli ever. What's happening right now? I don't understand. All I know is that it's I know you don't like it when I quote the Bible, but you will know the truth and the truth will set you free.
Dude, I honestly being a student of the Bible, and that's the reason why I can say I'm not a big fan of the comic book. I've read. I've not only had it read to me. Like I didn't get the normal. Like what kind of? I'm curious. What kind of bedtime story? Well, you had decent parents? What kind of bedtime stories were you told when you were little?
Go to sleep.
Oh, you got nobody ever came and read you a story or whatever?
No. My mom would tell us that she loved us and then tell us to go to sleep.
Okay. So
how about the story? What? Go to sleep, be happy you have a roof overhead, you little stupid shit. That's good parenting. That's reading bedtime stories to your kids creates pussies. That's just factual. Okay.
Well, no, it depends on the story, I guess. Yeah.
The devil, he will come and take you if you are mean to your family or you dishonor your parents. If you don't do your homework, the devil will take you. That's.
Well, see, I was in my mom's light days, and I don't. This isn't a good thing, I don't think, because the same thing happened to Carrie. My mom every once in a while, and for a good stretch, before I went to bed, read Bible stories. Oh no, I can't even say she read Bible stories. She read the Bible to me.
Yeah, that's much worse.
And yeah, especially them first 2 pages where Judas begat Hoo-Ha, who begat Bugs Bunny, who begat this and that. That's 3 pages of people who begat somebody.
Hi, Ray. How are you? This is okay. So this is the thing is like, growing up in a religious household, there was a kid's book called My Book of Bible Stories. Okay.
Yeah. I remember those types of things because a lot of my other friends had the stories.
Those were very, number one, very selective. Okay. Because no. They weren't necessarily watered down, but they were very selective. So it wasn't all the stories, but it was because remember, and this is something that I explain to people all the time, is that whether you believe the Bible or not doesn't matter. The fact is that the book itself is some of the greatest propaganda known to mankind. Well, no, not science fiction. It's the fact is, it creates a moral code with a moral hierarchy that you can instill in young people very well. And if you implement those rules by example, you can create a well-rounded individual. If you use it to control someone, you create a psychopath. If you use it to manipulate someone, you create a psychopath, right? So it's where you can't, like, yeah, if you say, hey, listen, like, I remember a friend of mine, his stepdaughter was turning like 14. She had a boyfriend, hot little number. She was in Pennsylvania, and they were worried about sex talk with her. And I go, hey, listen, let me tell you something, okay? Sex is awesome. It's so much fun. She was like, okay. And both her mom and stepdaughter were like, I'm like, but you have to remember, there are some doors, once they're open, you can never close them again. And it's important that you go through those doors with someone special. So if you just go through the door,
you got someone special through the door.
Well, but you stand there going, so look, no one can stop. And I told her, no one can stop you if you want to do something. But the ramifications of that decision is what everyone is worried about, because these are the examples we know about. Do we know this will happen to you? No, but these are what we know. We know that someone who becomes sexually active at a very young age may develop issues with intimacy, may develop issues with regards to being able to love properly, be loved, and there's a lot of things that factors into. And you know what? Is that always the case? No. People used to get fucking married at 14, okay? But people are just fucking at 14. And that, like, look, the trauma of being in a relationship in your teens, people are fucking monsters, bro. Okay,
yeah,
young people are evil.
I watch my dog. I mean, and you're right. I tell my kids this, like when my kids ask me for advice on something.
Yeah,
I tell them, okay, well, this is what your father would say.
Sure.
And I give her the advice of a father the best I could.
Fantastic.
Now, as a partier, as somebody who was out in the streets, as somebody who has lived that life and worse, yeah, it's great, but this could happen. The first, like for the first time my son ever did mushrooms.
Yeah.
Him and a bunch of his buddies got some mushrooms, and he came to me. He's like, Dad, so and so wants me to do mushrooms with them. What should I do? I'm not sure. He was asking me my advice. So I told him just like that. As a dad, that shit is bad for you. It fucks with your head, fucks with your belly. If you're not around the right people, it can be a real bad time.
Yep.
And and a lot of times you can't even tell, when it's worn off or not, or what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
Now, as a partier, as somebody who did mushrooms, make sure you only have enough money to make a phone call. Don't take your cell phone. Don't take your wallet. Make sure you're around people who you trust, and make sure I know where the fuck you are, just in case I gotta come find you.
I
Stay
think
the fuck out of the woods if you don't have people with you.
I think those are both fantastic parenting. 100%. You know why? Because, hey, listen, I can't stop you from doing shit, but what I can tell you how to be prepared, how to understand what's going to happen. And even still, and you know what, knowing what we know now, I would be like, hey, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm telling you, so studies have shown that your brain is still developing up until the age of 25, and doing something like that can have ramifications. So while you want to do it now, I understand completely, because that's the age, that's what people do. If you wait, you may be able to really enjoy yourself and have it not be possibly catastrophic for your brain development.
Right.
And that's
for the people out there who think I've only teach my sons this. No. For example, my daughters, I took all my everybody knows my oldest daughter, I put in her first mosh pit at 10 years old. I was just, hey, and she fucking battled it out, dude. There was people, you see that girl in there? I was so proud of her. But, eventually I took the rest of the daughters with me, and we went to metal concerts. Yeah. And I will never forget, there was a group of older girls, and they were kind of being dicks to my daughters and her friends up front. And my daughters are fighters. That is one thing that they didn't get from me. They have no patience. They got fucking, there's no chill to them bitches. I will tell you that off rip.
Yeah.
But they come to me and say, Dad, we're going to fuck these girls up. I said, no, you're not. Because, and this is the father's advice.
Right.
You lay a hand on one of them girls and we're all gone out of here.
Yeah.
Night's done. Yeah. That's it. You're probably going to get beat up by a guy.
Mm.
And it's going to be all bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Because the bouncers were all guys. And best believe when these bitches go at it, there will be bouncers involved.
Yeah.
Now, as somebody who's been there, you're at a fucking metal concert. Wait till the goddamn music starts. Now you're not fighting. It's a mosh pit. You're dancing. And
it's great advice.
As soon as that guitar went round, whack, nothing happened. They were dancing.
See, look, but realistically, and I think this is a fair point, is that's, hey, I love you. Let me give you some wisdom. Because look, we've all made mistakes. There's no question. But like, I'm a firm believer that, and this was something that I heard, like I knew, but I didn't hear this word for a long time. And when I heard it, I was like, that's impressive. Was when your father passes away, that's the only man in existence who wants you to be better than them.
Yeah.
And you're going, fuck. Yep. That's a good dad. So you're going, listen, the whole point of being a parent is to say, hey, you know what? Don't make the mistakes I made. Learn from my mistakes so you can start higher and maybe get higher. Those are good things. Also, let's go have fun. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Like that's a reasonable, that's good parenting, you know?
And we have a lack of that. Like nowadays, the example is, hey, I got away with it. You go do it too.
Oh God, I hate people like that.
Dude, and that's the bad thing. Like I'm seeing more and more in a lot of these court cases and a lot of, especially with these the younger generation. And speaking of, tomorrow night we're gonna speak on this real thoroughly, and we're even gonna have the gentleman who wrote the post that will be the topic of tomorrow night.
Great post.
Yeah. But it's also full of a lot of shit. I mean, it's a lot of valid questions.
Yes.
There are a lot of valid questions. Problem is a lot of these younger guys who have these questions, and women, they don't let you answer them.
Yes.
They want to use their questions as a statement. Okay, we understand you have a problem and we understand you have questions. Now, the difference between your generation and my generation is we could sit and talk about it.
Yeah.
We could hash it out. And if we can't hash it out, we could throw hands.
Sure.
Very rarely, like when guns got pulled out when I was younger, or even when I was the mid-20s, whatever, there was a fucking reason. Somebody was fucking somebody's old lady. Somebody was stealing from somebody. Somebody fucking didn't pay somebody back. Now, mind you, those are ghetto reasons, but those are fucking reasons. Those ain't, oh, he said that trans people aren't women or men. Really? Really?
Hey, I mean, that's the whole thing, is that you're going, hey, being able to, there was a story about, I forget which comedian did it. He would hang out with a pimp, and the pimp always had a gun, and he got into a fight with a guy, and he got his ass kicked. But like, he started the fight, he gave somebody his gun and his jewelry and stuff like that, fought, lost, grabbed his gun, and he goes, man, why didn't you shoot him? He goes, why? We had a fight. Why would I shoot it? Like, that's me having no, if I shoot somebody because we have an argument, I have less character. Right. If you fuck my old lady, I'm going to shoot you because you're a piece of shit. It's not a disagreement. I'm going to kill you, motherfucker. That's like, I'm sorry.
I would rather, like, I would rather it be like, I don't even know how to explain it without sounding contradictory. But again, I was brought up in the age, if it was going to be a senseless shooting, it was really senseless. It was to prove a point.
Yeah,
Like the old gangsters. You know, if you ran your mouth and you said something out of pocket at an old gangster, there was no talk. You got walked up on. It's just like the Joker poked a dude's eye out, or the Asian chick who sliced the dude's head off. You know, you spoke out of pocket, and you were not in that position of authority. You already knew the rules. I'm sure that wasn't the first eyeball or head to roll, but you still chose to speak out of pocket. Somebody might walk up on you and put a double deuce in the back of your ear. You know, that was that way. But again, it wasn't we weren't arguing back and forth. This wasn't a debate. No. You knew your place. You got out of pocket. That was the consequence.
I think that is what really hits the point of the stuff that we're going to talk about, is that, like, people keep on forgetting that there are consequences. There are always consequences. And you know what? Like, it even comes down to this. Hey, you know what? I want to have dessert. Consequences. You know what? I'll make it a little fat. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna skip my workout. Consequences. You know what? I'm gonna be stiff tomorrow. It can be something that little. Also, consequences. I run my mouth. It happens, right?
Now, speaking of consequences and everything.
Absolutely.
Now, everybody, you know, I'm not even going to mention his name because I'm sure, you know, we're dancing on the algorithm as it is. So we're just going to leave it at the CK situation. You know, I made you know, a video about it, and, you know, I expressed my feelings about it. I feel like at first I overreacted, and I you know, I'll be the first one to say that. You know, I unfriended and blocked a couple people that really shouldn't have, because they actually just made jokes. They weren't making fun of him or the situation. They just made a joke. And, you know, I actually had one of them reach out to me.
Yeah.
So like I was very surprised. A very prominent comedian that apparently liked me, and spoke very highly of me. You know, I blocked him because he was one of the first to make a joke. And it was just in the midst of everybody else's bullshit and all the other stuff. Yeah. And it was just like, I'm not going to watch it. I ain't listening to this click.
Yeah.
And he, like I said, he reached out to me, and, you know, he had nothing to do with the situation. He didn't even know who the fucking dude was. He just saw everybody out, and he just made a poor joke. And with that being said, I was wrong. You know, because I've done the same thing. There's a difference between making a joke about a situation to try to lighten a situation and celebrating a situation.
True.
And you know, for a good day, I did not distinguish that. You know, and again, like I said, I'll be the first one to say it. Now, there has been other people who have reposted shit, just like that Charleston White, that piece of fucking shit. I can't stand that motherfucker.
Charleston White, hold on, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's just some fucking lowlife who got, you know, he pretty much got his notoriety for talking shit, mostly racist bullshit. And then he started defending Carmelo Anthony. And then he found out he was wrong about the Carmelo Anthony situation.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to run his mouth about the girl who got shanked in her neck, and then about Charlie Kirk. The last one, you know, a good buddy of mine, a good friend, and I'm not gonna lie, this bothers the fuck out of me, because when he had issues when his friends were killed, there was a girl that he was real close with that lived downstairs from his apartment. He used to help take care of the kids and stuff, not in a sexual way with the mom, but just, you know, he helped. It was like his sister, and she got shot and killed out in Cleveland. Fucked him up pretty bad. Yeah. And, you know, I reached out to him. You know, I'm over here young. I reached out to him. We talked a few times. A couple other bad things hit his life, and we talked, because I never thought that he would fucking, you know, repost some fuck shit like that Charleston White video.
Yeah.
And it'd be one thing to post it, but to put "yup" on top of it, that means you agree with everything this piece of shit said. He was talking about Charlie's kids. He was talking about Charlie's wife, how he didn't give a fuck about either one of them, all this other bullshit. And, you know, fuck them and fuck them kids too, and all this. Bruh.
Hey, you can't teach common sense to some people, right? And look, You can, and I talked about this with a few people where we both were like, don't like Charlie Kirk. And I'm the one who I was like, listen, his head is too big for his face. He's got too much gums for his little ass teeth. I don't like his face. I don't even like what he says half the time. Guess what? I do not wish harm on him. I do not wish his family to be going what they're going through. And you know what? Anyone who does, you're a bad person. It's that simple. You are of low moral character. And
like the bad thing is and this is weird because I've never heard of him, but now that I have heard of him, I can't wait for him to start making more videos because this motherfucker is unreal. Like, first thing people don't realize, Charlie Kirk was a moderate.
Very.
He was a moderate. For people who love to call him a racist, I want to address this because this hits to family. This hits the family. There's a video going around that says, y'all saying Charlie Kirk ain't racist, but what about this? And it shows him saying that Jasmine Crockett, Ketanji Brown, whatever the fuck her name is, Supreme Court Justice, and was it Michelle Obama? I don't know if that was Michelle Obama. There was another, bigger name black woman in the government on there. And he said that they all got their jobs from DEI and affirmative action.
Sure.
And that they would have never gotten their jobs with their real qualifications.
Right.
Now, somehow, some way, that became a racist statement because he named them 3 women. For you people who think he was being racist over that shit, go watch a fucking Senate hearing. Go watch Ketanji Brown's fucking when they ask her questions to see if she's going to be elected. That bitch can't even tell you what a guy or a girl is. She literally said when asked, can you tell us what the difference between a man and a woman is? Or can you give me a definition of a woman? She said no because she is not a scientist.
Is she the one that they keep on adding the smoke alarm beeps to?
Probably.
That's the best shit I've ever seen, bro. No, so listen, hey, that's the real problem though, is and when you look into it, like, one of the things you should know is there are a lot of let's call this, there's an overrepresentation of people who have law degrees who are not allowed to be lawyers anymore inside the political atmosphere. Okay. People who were disbarred for very, very severe reasons, who are suddenly top political candidates and stuff. Listen,
it's gotten to the point, it seems, here in America that somehow, some way, these colleges, these top end colleges, have been dumbed down.
Yes.
Either that or I'm trying to figure out where these qualifications, because a lot of these people, they all have went to law school. So by definition, they got a better education than most people. They went to these high-end law schools. So the fact that you come out with some of the stupidest shit or actors, like Jasmine Crockett acts like she's hood. And this bitch came from an upper fucking, or we'll say a lower upper class household, which is better than anybody she talks about. And she's rapping. I mean, and she's talking about she's in these streets, she's from the hood. That bitch had the nerve to get on TV the other day and say that no Democrat has called for any violence ever, while they played the video behind her of fucking Nancy Pelosi, the horse-faced bitch who looks like James Brown, fucking Chuck Schumer, fucking Cory Booker, Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, they all done it and more, including Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah. Hey, that's the problem, is these people aren't, and you know what? Listen, I'll be the first one to say it. It's not just the Democrats, it's also on the Republican side. These people are not educated. And ask them, when was the last time you read an entire bill that you voted on? Just that simple question. And you know what to go? Oh, we don't have time for that.
I love the ones that carry the Constitution in their pocket.
It's right near my heart because it's the most. Shut the fuck up, you lying piece of shit.
Read me the 7th Amendment. Not the first, not the second. We all know that. We all know the 14th. We all know the 4th. Give me the 11th. Give me the 17th Amendment. Give me what? Do you know what it is? No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. And stay off your phone. Let's see, because you're supposed to know. You're supposed to be one of our Congress. You're supposed to be Senate, Congress, whatever. You are supposed to fucking know. So you tell me how this orange fat fuck in the office who barely knows his business knows more about the Constitution than you.
Isn't that weird? It's fucking disturbing, bro. And that's the problem is you have bills that are 1,000 pages long and they're like, oh, I just vote on it. I don't know what it's about. That's not your money to be voting on there, bro. What are you doing? I want, this is where like it's shit like one of the things that they talk about in I think it's Star Trek The Next Generation, how there was a period in time in human history where they would have courts still, but lawyers got the same punishment as the person they're representing.
Oh,
and you're going,
change the whole everything.
A whole lot. Hey, not just you going to jail. We're going to jail hand in hand, friend.
So I was watching that Kash Patel has been on doing Senate hearings the past couple of days.
Some people have been sending them to me, bro.
Great.
It is wild.
In the same aspect, though, the Chihuahua's bark is giving him away. Because I mean, like you can tell his fire in the first. He got his set given answers.
Yeah, well,
and then those given answers are just being recycled over and over again when valid questions are being asked.
I'm gonna send you a few that I've been watching that I got thrown from X, and a lot of them where he called out. Let me read what the things were.
Which one was it? With Swalwell, or was it with Cory Booker, or was it when he snapped on Adam Schiff?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on. With one was Representative Jamie Raskin and Democrats in Congress are the most ignorant people on the planet, and he goes on to just fucking tear into this guy, and it's hilarious because it none of it you're going, yeah, that's all accurate. He's like, you could have, you didn't, you could have voted on this. Also, Nick Sorter, this was Nick Sorter. He says, I'm going to call bullshit. Okay, this is Kash Patel talking to Representative Nick Sorter. No, Nick Sorter's the thing. Sorry.
No, Swalwell. He called it. That was Swalwell.
I'm going to call bullshit on your entire career in Congress. You've been a disgrace to the American people. Why don't you try serving your constituency by focus on reducing violent crime in the country and the number of pedophiles that are legally harbored in your sanctuary cities in California? You're like, God damn, bro. Like,
yeah, but again, like, you know, I lean more towards Cash's side, but if you listen to you got to listen to both sides of that exchange.
Yeah,
I mean, although Swalwell was trying to get his political moment, you know, they're all trying to get their TV clips. He did him and Raskin and no, fuck Adam Schiff. There was another one. They had valid points for him. You know, a lot of them were throwing jabs at the FBI, this and that. Now, what I found real interesting, though, that I found in this whole thing, was they finally admitted. They said it out loud, and everybody blew past it. You know how I like to pick up little shit.
Yeah.
That the January 6th thing was all egged on by the FBI.
Yeah.
Like, we knew it. People in the know knew it. Like, I knew from the fucking when the Proud Boys case went up. I was watching over, you know, and catching all the shit from the Proud Boys case. But the Ashley Babbitt, she was coerced by an FBI person to go and pretty much walk into a bullet.
Yeah.
They encourage the people to go over them fences. They pretty much push people to, go break this, go fuck this up, go do that. And they do that. And the way it was said, it was, well, as you know, just like, after we released all the papers of Jan 6 and had, we found out that the FBI pretty much coerced all the people to go in there. We did this, and that. Well, wait a minute. Stop. Wait a minute. No, you're not just going to glance over that, motherfucker. We're not just going to not talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was, you said Adam Schiff. Yeah, I am combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. We have constantly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate. January 6th, you're the biggest fraud to ever sit in on the U.S. Senate. You are a disgrace to the institution and an utter coward. You continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charades. You are a political buffoon at best. I challenge you to say anything credible to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now. Which, Jesus, bro. See, this is okay. And this is my question was, I'm like, do you think he's this brazen because he's protected by his significant other? Or do you think that he would be even worse? Because when this first started, he was like, let's do it. Like everyone was like, this guy's for real. Right. But then you found out he's honeypotted, and you're like, oh, shenanigans.
What I see, and it's like I said before, and it seems to be ringing true more and more lately. Everybody knows how I feel about Obama, but one of the
you love him so much.
Best things that I've ever, and some that stuck with me that he has said is, he did an interview when he first got into office, and they asked him, you promised this, you promised this, you promised this. Why aren't you doing this? And he said, it's all fun and games, and you always come into office with high hopes, and you want to do this and that. But once you get here, you find out and he didn't say who. He just said they tell you that's not the way it's going to be.
Nagila. I'm just saying.
Dude, and I hate to say, because when this whole shit started exploding out, and a lot of the star was brought up more and more.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is
scary.
The same thing that went on back then. And then I started looking more. When Cole started making sense, I'm like, oh, fuck. Because, I started digging in, and I'm reading more and more. I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe Mr. Funny Mustache wasn't so wrong. I mean, I've always made the argument about what was going on in the litter box that made these people want to fucking uprise. Well, we know now. Yeah. We know now, and it's like, wait a minute, we're doing the same thing. And in that respect, though, I have noticed something, and it's very odd, and I'm surprised that nobody else has noticed it or talked about it. It's just me noticing cycles, season, whatever.
How dare you?
Democrats, we don't like guns. Democrats, we don't like this. We don't like that.
Right.
Or Democrats were the cancel culture.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, it's flipped. The Democrats don't want any gun control, and they're having a fit now that the Republicans are. And dude, I can't fucking believe they're doing this, or they already have done it in certain languages. They designated they're taking away free speech pretty much. They're calling hate anything against Jews hate speech.
Right.
You can't do, and they're using the CK thing to push it.
That's right.
Now, what the fuck? And now, and the bad thing is, the Democrats right now could get everything they wanted. They could get their cancel culture, and they could get their guns taken away like they want it.
Yes.
But now they're against it.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
And this whole thing about And first of all, and I saw it coming, and this was one of my biggest issues. This is one of my biggest issues with this assassination.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's looking at the fucking race aspect or the gender aspect of it. You know, everybody's worried about the words. Well, how about they're taking your fucking words? They use this just like it's being like the whole fucking 9/11 thing was used to pass the Patriot Act.
Yes.
You know, they're using this to take your free speech.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like people celebrating about Charlie. I don't like people fucking saying shit about this and that. I don't have the right to fucking tell you you can't do it. I cannot like it all I fucking want. I could block you. I could unfriend you. Because that's what normal human beings do.
Mm.
But now, because of this fuckwittery that the left is so happy about, you're going to get this whole... and then you want to blame it, the right this, the right that. No, you motherfuckers. And then, you know,
very
you got
weird.
The left is just, you know, they're... Rob Coleman... and we're going to be speaking about this because I'm going to be on the show of his talking about Trump in his days or whatever next week, I believe, or the week after. Rob Coleman sent me a video not too long ago. I think I might have mentioned it. And it was a circle of these young college-age white kids.
Right.
And they were all debating this other person. I think they might have been Jewish or so. I think so or something. But anyway, it was a foreign descent, but, you know, legal.
Okay.
And these kids, you know, Rob was asking me, these are what Trump supporters, you know, you want to know why people don't like Trump supporters, this and that. And all these kids were some of the most hateful, racist motherfuckers. And they, you know, and I'm like, no, you know, I made the mistake that Jared made with me when we were talking about the big gay dick about 8-10 years ago. I made the mistake of saying, no, this is just a small percentage of fucking kids, you know, that somehow, some way they got their platform, they got together. But either way, this is a small percentage. This is not an example of what a real Trump supporter is or thinks.
Right.
Now, the same thing, you know, the Trump supporters kept them idiots pretty much in their own dog cage.
Right.
You say what you want. Oh yeah, you're that's a little bit rough, Timmy and Corey and Zach. You know, calm down. Now, you have left the fucking dog kennel open.
Yes.
You open the fucking dog kennel. So yeah, there's the racism is gonna go nuts now. And you know what? Like I've said 1,000 times, this is not the old racism. This is not the racism where it was just stupid. Oh, you're a different color, so fuck you. No, that's stupid. There's nothing. There's no backing to that. But what backing these kids have is these fucking people of color acting a fucking fool and claiming racism when they weren't victims, claiming victimhood when they were never victims.
Yeah.
You know, or they had their victimization was very minimum. You got these kids in Ivy League schools saying that they're oppressed. Bitch, my kids can't get in that school. I can't get in that school. You didn't get a fucking a loan out to go to that school. You didn't. You and you had every right. If your scholastic, you know, your fucking grades and shit got you there, that is great. Now, if you got on there just because of the color of your skin, don't fucking come at me. Don't come at me about no bullshit.
Well, so, and this is the whole thing that people were talking about was that certain Ivy League schools had to drop, essentially, if you were like, oh, I'm a person of color, so the qualifier for you to get in dropped significantly.
Right.
And you said it before, you're like, how is it now that these schools are producing dumber kids? And you're going, oh, that's because they had to let dumb kids in and then hold their hand the whole time. Come with me. Don't worry. I'll take you to your class. Oh, you want to leave class? That's okay. You're still going to get the mark. And then they're coming out there. Listen, I've only heard, okay? I've never experienced this, but I know that there are some people who can't fucking read, bro. They can't read. They're grown-ass fucking adults and can't read.
Mayweather said, why do I need to learn how to read? I got the money for people to read for me. You're retarded.
Hey, that's the problem is, listen, what people don't realize is, yeah, you know what? It's nice to be able to have people around you that you can trust to read for you. That's nice. That's a very seldom occurrence from what actually may be the case. And that's the hard part.
Here's real world example of that. This is real world consequences. Yeah. I just recently talked to a person that said his homies when he was in prison.
Yeah.
His friends used to send him letters, and they were all Mexican friends.
Okay.
But they would send him in Spanish. He didn't know how to read Spanish. So he had to go pay commissary to read a note from his friend. That's exactly what it is. You're going to pay to have something read to you instead of learning the fucking language yourself.
Yeah.
I'd be mad as fuck if I have to give up my fucking, my beef jerky or my ramen noodles just because you said, hey, Vato, how you doing?
Well, okay. At the same time, you're in jail. They have a library. Go learn Spanish, stupid. Like, yeah, I knew a couple guys, and I say I knew them. I didn't know them. They knew my brother or one of my other brothers and stuff. But they would go to jail. When they came out, they were massive. Why? You have nothing else to do. You have nothing else to do but just work out. So you just worked out. That's it. That's all you did. And you're going, yeah. I
really don't know how black folks even got into the Charlie Kirk argument. I don't. Because when this first happened, nobody said shit about Ray. Everybody was talking about. We all knew it was the Trantifa. Yeah. We all knew it, and that's the new name. That ain't something I made up. Apparently, that's the new lingo. Trantifa is the new thing. We all knew that.
Yeah.
I have no clue how black folks even got. If you don't care about the white man who got shot, if you don't care about the white man and his family and his kids, then why the fuck are you got your nose in their business?
I mean, why? I don't understand.
Because it ain't just black folks. It's just people of color. Because I know plenty of Hispanics that I didn't have to boot to because of just ignorant shit. And I even went back on the people that I blocked to see if I was wrong. I was only wrong about Tim Wolf. Honestly, I was only wrong about Tim Wolf.
Tim Wolf? What's Tim Wolf?
He's a very funny comedian. He started out local, and that was the one I said in the beginning. It was just he caught it at the wrong time.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. The one I pulled up was he's a singer. So
Timmy's a comedian and an actor. His wife, or I'm not sure if they got married or not, is a comedian also and a teacher.
Is it WOLFE?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is a weird fucking thumbnail, but okay. Oh, he has the same disease that the new Little Mermaid does, where his eyes are on the side of his head. That's weird.
I don't know if that's the same guy. Anyways, I mean, it's getting fucking crazy. I have no idea how the race thing even got in the mix of it. And just to like I said, again, people don't realize the consequences.
Yeah.
Right now, I have a target on my back. Right now, you have a target on your back.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody, whether you're right or left, whether you want to be racist or one side or the left, it don't matter now. When you open your mouth in a public forum, you have a target on you now. And that's what people don't get. It's not about CK. It's not about his family or his kids.
Mm-hmm. It's
about free speech. And people don't realize that free speech isn't just typing on the fucking internet. People like us who get on stage, people like us who get in front of people and say stuff that maybe somebody, you don't know how many times I've offended a whole bar full of people.
I mean, we do, but yeah.
And that's a target on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, and not only does that put a target on us, this bullshit about blocking, like, if you really looked into what CK fucking believed in, he didn't believe that there was hate speech. He didn't believe that there was ugly speech. He believed that there was free speech, no matter what was said.
Yeah.
Now, for you idiots who think free speech is riding a scooter through a fucking candlelight vigil or fucking kicking over a fucking memorial, that's not free speech. That's an ass whooping.
Yeah.
You know,
I believe the term is that's battling. That's just
free speech and common sense need to start going hand in hand, and none of it has been anymore.
Well, and I think it goes further than it's not just free speech, it's about the status quo, right? You can hate what I say. You can come and you can yell in my face and but now if you say something I don't like, murder is on the table. And that's not okay. That's a big difference with having a difference of opinion. You can hate me, you can do whatever you want. Like, look, I saw somebody sent me a video yesterday of a woman going, I have a raising news to her two daughters. Her two daughters are like 9, 7, around that age, pre-10. Okay. And for one girl goes, somebody killed Donald Trump? She goes, no. Somebody killed the vice president?
Yeah.
No. Third best. And you're going, listen, if your kids are happy that someone's been murdered, you're a bad parent. It's that simple. You're a bad parent. There's no ifs, ands, buts, addendums. No. If your kids want death on someone, and I'm not talking about a kid who's like, I fucking hate everybody. No. They want specific people to die. You're a bad parent. It's that simple. Also, if you bring your child to a haunted house, you're a bad parent.
No. I've taken shit. I remember taking Maria to see Nightmare on Elm Street at the drive-in when she was maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah. I said what I said. I said what I said.
My daughter Samara fucking loved fucking Freddy Krueger and Friday the 13th too. Jason. We weren't big Michael Myers fans, but now again, and this is something that's going to go to tomorrow's show too. Now, right. The big difference.
Yeah.
My first set of kids, we went to haunted houses. We were broke. We struggled, but we knew how to make it and everything. These kids love horror movies. They're not afraid of shit. They got their own, their own things. They might struggle here and there, but they're okay.
Yeah.
I got my younger ones now, especially Maya and Julia. They can't watch a 70s fucking horror movie with clearly a fake fucking leg. Jesus Christ, let me put the Terrifier on. My daughter got to go to her friend's house for the night.
Get the fuck out.
God,
dude. Hey, so realistically though, because I had 3 older siblings who are 12, 10, and 8 years older than me. Then I had a brother who was 2 years older than me and me, right? And
so your mom just didn't quit fucking.
Well, no, she had some time off in the middle, okay, and then back to business. and the way she says it, she's like, actually, my sister and me and my brother were all mistakes. The first 2,
that's great.
They wanted. Everybody else just happened. But ultimately, it's true what you said. Is the first 3 had it significantly harder than me and my brother did. But there was the second round. Second round's always different, right?
Yeah.
But
that's where I felt, and then, like I said, that's where our conversations are gonna go tomorrow. Because the second set, the biggest problem is, one of the main questions that he asked was, why do Gen Xers look down on the rest of the generations when we created that?
Yes.
And here's something for y'all to think about. You know how you guys got created? Because we were the kids of the greatest generation. And the greatest generation treated us like shit.
Correct.
And eventually became dope heads or dope dealers or just pieces of shit on their own. The white folks became drunks or cokeheads.
Sure.
Now, we wanted a better, easier life for our kids. We wanted our kids not to have to see that or not to have to go through that ever. Yeah. So we did our damnedest to coddle. We did our damnedest to shy you away. We did our damnedest to make sure that you don't go through what we went through. But what we went through made real fucking people. We didn't make whiny bitches who think that their parents should be taking care of them till they're in their fucking 30s. And the reason why I know this is because my first set of kids went through that rough life with me, but my second set of kids, since I got better off.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that to these ones. I'm not going to let them be exposed to this. I'm not going to have this. My kids don't even know what a fucking. My younger kids don't even know what a fucking gun really is. They know they go pew pew. That's it. While my older kids know how to dismantle and break down firearms like they were in the military. So I know with that coddling, when it was just the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Our good intentions created you fucking pussies. There's your answer.
Yeah. So, and no, that's true. Is I think that's the inherent problem, right? And that's too often you're like, well, I don't want my kids to struggle like I did. And you're going, yeah, but you struggling made you into the person you are. So when you eliminate the struggle, you create weaker people. And it's not to say that they have to be weaker, but most often, and this is something that I'm seeing more and more and more, is people will take the easy decision, right? And I'm like, I don't want to say that I knock the idea of taking the easy way, but it's like, yeah, but the easy way just turns into the easy way and the easy way and the easy way. And then you're at the bottom of a mountain. You're going, I actually just wanted to move over. I was up at the top. And you're like, yeah, now you're at the bottom. You know why? Because you kept going downhill, stupid. Like that's, and you're now, if you want to go back, good. You have to climb up the whole fucking mountain
by yourself.
And not only by yourself, but also you're probably older, your knees hurt, you're fat, and all sorts of shit's a fucking problem, okay? That might have hit home a little bit, Marco. It might have hit home a little bit. I'm just
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong at all.
No.
I mean, I'm glad. I'm not gonna lie, it was my second set of kids who turned, got me out of that old frame of mind, that old thinking.
Yeah.
And now this is before the whole, my end of the whole spiel. But, me getting custody of my younger kids, actually all of my kids, but, the Thorn and Marco and Maria, they were older. So, I mean, it was really, they were already on their path. But the girls and stuff, when I moved from there into a quote unquote white neighborhood. When I realized that life ain't like this everywhere. No. And the only reason why I say quote unquote white neighborhood, and we had different colored people, it was same people down the road, but but it was just that type of neighborhood. That's what people know now, the white neighborhood. And I realized that there is a better life, and I want my kids to have that better life.
Yes.
But again, it did better for me because I was older, and I was old enough to realize that there's something better out there. But now when you bring up the kids in that society, they become entitled shits because that's where they start. They didn't just earn their way there. They start there and they believe that, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be all the time. And we're supposed to get our way. And we're supposed to this and that and all this.
Right.
And, you keep your kids in the hood schools. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well, you have to. So I have two of those stories. Number one, you know who Drake is.
Yes.
And Drake has that song, Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here. So you understand, he started in a very, very, very nice area of Toronto. There was no bottom where he was. If anything, he was the bottom. Somebody else was the top. That's the only thing. There were a lot of, so there was no like, I had to rough it. He talks like he's a gangster. You're like, bro, you're not at all in any way, shape, or form a gangster. Okay. But like, so I years ago with my ex-wife, her grandparents had foster kids, and they took in 3 foster kids, and one of them actually had like a problem with their legs, but the parents would carry the child around. So she has braces on her legs, like fucking Forrest Gump, but the parents would carry her around, so she never got any sort of exercise, and it would just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And the 2 old grandparents are like, no, you have to walk. And eventually she got her braces off because they pushed the child, right? And they, for their 50th anniversary, they wanted to go take the family to Dominican, and they wanted to take the oldest of the daughters. Great. So they wanted to go to a village close by the resort. We had to have guards. It was a whole fucking thing. Okay. Now, as we're walking, we pass by a butcher shop, and there's a fucking cow's head, horns and all, just sitting on the ground, like, okay. And we're talking about the horns were at least like 3-4 feet wide. Okay. Big fucking head on this cow. And she looks, and remember, this kid grew up in northern Ontario, not even northern Ontario, just north of Toronto, and did not like had a grocery store. She'd never been to a butcher shop, let alone a fucking meat market, right? She sees that and she's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Now you understand how good we have it, but this is actually normal for the rest of the world." And she just, bro, her whole brain, because she was a smart kid, right? Like, you know how kids who really have it rough, they smarten up real quick, right? You could see how I explained it to her, and she just goes, click, and she goes, "Oh, so we're the ones that have it better." I'm like, "You have it significantly better."
Right.
I go, "Have you ever walked around and seen armed guards?" She goes, "Never in my life." I go, "That's what's keeping us safe here. And we're just passing through." And she was like, "Oh, okay." But if you don't expose people to that kind of shit and help them understand, you're going, "Listen, you talk too much smack." Like, people who throw hands and then when you hit them back, go, "Oh, it's assault." You're like, "What planet are you on? You think you can hit me and I'm not going to hit you back?" Not on planet Earth, there, fuckface. That's not how it's going to work, right? But people are under the assumption, they're like, no, I hit you out of social justice. It's not the same. You hit me because you're a piece of shit. You're like, that's not how any of that works.
Yeah, right? And then that's another thing, man. Like when did social justice become a thing? Just a thing, period. Like, I don't even know. I don't know if that was my getting high years or what that kind of creeped in and I just didn't notice. But back in the day, social justice was shut the fuck up and go whine over there in the corner. Like, you didn't. If you said certain things that offended somebody, either they were going to have words, they were going to ignore you, or you guys were going to fight. That was that. I mean, it's gotten back to the, and a lot of people like to say this is the Wild Wild West. Yeah, it is getting back to the Wild West. Because that is the only time that I can remember that, and it was over a card game. You got to at least be playing cards.
I mean, like, look, this is a thing, right? Like, there's like, I'm just looking up, and it's like there's a lot of social justice type things that have happened over a long period of time, right? But the only time where it started to be happening like we've seen right now is because of social media, where you have the crazy people who are able to link up with other crazy people instead of somebody saying, hey, shut up, stupid, you're an idiot. And they go, "Oh, I'm an idiot, I shouldn't talk."
I think one of the biggest problems is people equate social justice with civil rights. Not the same.
Very, absolutely.
Not the same. Not the same at all.
No.
But
yeah.
And I'm gonna just touch on this, and then we're gonna get to some interesting shit.
It's only an hour in. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the fact, look, people, if you don't think that's I've already lost, I've lost a good amount of faith in 47. 47 is being ruled by the star. I hate to say it. I will be the first to admit that I was wrong, but I got a feeling that the star is controlling all the buttons right now. and that the dude who's running the game ain't even from the Star. That's the bad thing. But anyways, the whole racial thing, the whole divide over here. If you don't believe that this was somebody drug y'all black folks into this CK situation for the purposes of using it, just like the riots and shit like that.
Yeah.
There was a headline just came. It was actually maybe yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday. I heard about it.
All right.
Black kid in Mississippi was hung. They try to say it was on university grounds. Then it was he was just from the university. I'm not quite sure on that end though. But that has been the narrative for the past few days now that I'm seeing everybody's pissing and moaning about. And it's because of Charlie Kirk and it's because of the racism and this and that. You know what? I would have believed it because again, you let these fucking guys out.
Yeah.
All right, y'all people of color, all people of color have been pushing this whole Floyd racism.
Yes.
And you thought that shit was just gonna slide. And I warned motherfuckers about that back then. The kids who were watching that shit happen, whichever side they were watching, that's what side's views they were, and they're gonna exploit that and exacerbate it. So now again, getting back to this kid being hung. All the black folks are having a fit. Everybody's screaming racism. But what's not getting reported is the same day, almost the same time, in the same area, a white kid was hung too. And preliminary investigations all say both of them were suicides, which may be kind of shady. Who knows? But the fact that nobody said shit about the white kid being hung tells you what's being pushed here.
Look, we all saw how they didn't want to release the tapes on the kid who stabbed the guy and killed him at the track meet because you're like, well, it's going to make him look guilty. You're like, yeah, that's the problem. So you say, okay, this kid got hung. And the first words out of everyone's mouth was, they're lynching people. And you're going, hold on. Because saying that people are getting lynched and then someone was found hung, those are two very different things. And like you said, is that, look, hating somebody for the color of their own skin, okay, is ridiculous. I'll be the first one to say that, okay? I hate people because of their character and who they are inside. That's who I hate. I don't care what skin color you are, but the problem is, so you have generations of people saying XYZ color skin, those are bad people, you can't trust them. Now you have a couple of generations go, you can't look at people's skin and judge them. That's not fair. And now you have a situation where a criminal who turns out died from an overdose, had nothing to do with the police, resulted in businesses being burned, riots, peaceful protests, okay? And then you have somebody who was encouraging debate and, for lack of a better word, fairly moderate in their beliefs, being murdered in front of his wife and children in a public setting, okay? And not because, hey, listen, if he fucked that guy's girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, okay, and he said, I'm going to kill him, I'd go, shouldn't have fucked her. It's fair, okay? But that's not what happened. He said, I don't like his words, so I'm going to kill him, okay? That's the case.
Boyfriend told on him. It was very little coercion. The boyfriend told on him. The boyfriend was even in the notes and stuff. They're like, the boyfriend was like her girlfriend, whatever you want to call him.
The friend.
Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like all of his like. So even he, she, it, whatever was like, dude, nobody said to do this. But so apparently there was a group of folks, like you said, get online, social media, and you find out fuckwits, and everybody's like all getting in his head. But now, what's kind of weird though is one thing that asshole who fucking stabbed that girl on the subway, that piece of shit, kept saying, and it kind of keeps, sitting in the back of my head. Well, I forget what he said the material was, but he said whatever they put in my head is making me do this. And she was controlling what was ever in my head with her phone. Now, with all these weirdnesses and crazinesses going on, like you go to the idiot who took a shot at Trump. That dude, really look at him. Or the idiot who was down in Florida. That dude. Or even the when that asshole was going around and filming him shooting people at the McDonald's and stuff. That all very, very weird. Like even in the psychosis and the craziness that we've seen throughout America, nothing's really been ever like that. And a lot of them like say weird shit like something's in my brain or something. Now, again, it could be just, fucking idiocy. But I remember distinctly when I was a kid, there was a guy who used to live up the hill.
Yeah.
And he was friends with my girlfriend's mom at the time.
All right.
But he swore up and down that the government was watching him. He's like on like the TV type paranoia. Like he swore up and down, like he would drive around his house 3-4 times before he went in. He would actually ask and pay my girlfriend's mom to be able to talk to the government. So what he would do is call her and she would just lay the phone down. That's what he wanted her to do. So he could just speak into the phone. Like I used to pick up the phone just to hear him. And he wasn't, everything he was saying was like crazy. At the time, I thought conspiracy type shit. So, I mean, it's just really odd, especially with all the weird shit that's been going on lately and with the UFOs. And to piece the resistance for tonight's show, the fucking alien that's in Panama.
Bro.
Did you check that shit out, dude?
Yes, I did. And I'll tell you, it's fucking terrifying. Because, and so this is the whole thing, right? And I'm just actually looking for this right now because I watched it earlier today, just to kind of brush up on things. So what we forget a lot of the time was that, and this goes back, it was on the Y-Files. I watched it, just came out. He did a stripped down version of, it's called The Family Jewels, and it's exposing the CIA. Okay. And the problem is where you're like, yeah, the CIA was experimenting on thousands and not hundreds, thousands of people, to the point where some people were getting dosed with LSD constantly for days on end. Okay. And we've heard of things, conspiracy theories of things like MK Ultra and mind control and all sorts of weird stuff. And turns out, yep, that shit happened. Now, whether it worked, whether it didn't work, what they found, regardless, not important. What is important is that you're like, if people are out here saying, there's something in my head, and instead of going, do I want to believe that? No. But is that clearly a fucking thing? Yeah. And that's scary as hell. Okay.
Well, I mean, even if you go into like Martin Lawrence, when even Chappelle said something about that. When you got somebody that grounded and somebody that intelligent who doesn't party, and all of a sudden he's out running in the middle of the street with a gun in his hand and in his drawers and saying they're trying to kill me.
Who's the gay black guy who just they found him on the middle of the street in his underwear?
Yeah. I forget what the fuck his name is. I heard about it too.
Super gay. He did a video and you're like, oh, is he a rapper? And then you're like, nope, super gay guy. But yeah, so like, I look, you and I both know somebody could slip you something. You drink a little too much. You try something you haven't tried before. You're not around the right people. You know, things go bad.
So,
right.
In hearing people talk about the alien thing, though,
Yeah.
So another thing that I heard pass by just out of nowhere, they just brushed past it. Did you know that, well, at least scientists believe, that octopus and maybe even eels, are aliens? They came from outer space. They were dropped in from fucking comets and shit.
Octopus, 100%. They're like, it's not terrestrial. It's hey. So this is okay. I don't know if I've told you about this. Was that there was a guy who was doing his doctoral thesis on an octopus. So it was his pet, and he would feed it shrimp. That's they like to eat that, and there's all sorts of stuff that octopus eat. But so he had an aquarium across the hall from his office, and so he goes, drops a bunch of shrimp off for the octopus, goes into his office and starts typing, and all of a sudden he sees a shrimp go up and land on his keyboard. Wet shrimp. The fuck? Okay. He turns around. It's the octopus is on the ground just looking at him. Turns around. The octopus goes back to his fucking aquarium. Okay. Turns out that shrimp was bad. So the octopus was pissed off that he had given him bad shrimp. So he left his aquarium, crossed the hallway, went into his office, and threw it at him.
Now, mind you, octopi are supposed to not be able to breathe air.
Hey, that is some if not intelligent, that is some psycho shit. Okay. That means that the octopus is like, oh, you want to hang out? Yeah, okay, that's fine. You want to write something about me? Yeah, that's fine. You want to give me bad food? I'll fucking throw it down your throat, you son of a bitch. Okay. And also remember, octopus are awesome. That's true. Also, the plural for octopuses, plural for octopus is octopuses, not octopi.
Yeah, well,
I found that out a while ago because it's the derivative of the word it's octopuses, which is hilarious.
Yes.
If we ever get an aquarium, I'm getting a mini octopus. No, we're not getting an aquarium. How about that? Hey, 3 days ago, she's like, I want to get a lizard. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? We just got a cat. Just fucking enjoy the cat, goddammit. But yeah, they're like, they're not. Also, like, octopuses will punch fish. Just fucking.
That's for the hell of it, yeah.
Just for the fucking hell of it, just pop, and you're like, what? So like, this is well, and you know what? The more and more I read about all of the sightings and information that's being told, is there's 100% stuff in our water, and they're finding new species
of thing,
all the time. And they're looking at it going, and it makes it worse that people are putting out AI shit constantly of weird stuff in the ocean. And you're like, it might be real. I don't even fucking know anymore.
Oh, you heard about Leviathan?
Okay, so
tying that to the earthquakes that are going on in Russia.
Yeah, and that's close to Marianas Trench. Yeah, that's fine. It's that, and also to remember that's also very close to where they were setting off thousands of nuclear weapons to just see what happens, like a bunch of psychopaths, right?
So now, just theoretically, hypothetically, whatever you want to call it. So maybe there was something because of we'll even use the global warming excuse.
Sure.
So we'll say, because this supposedly started in Antarctica or wherever, the top one, the Arctic.
The Arctic.
So
we got melting Arctic, ice. Everybody. Yeah, no,
we got melting ice. Water's warm. Now we awakened something that was cryogenically frozen for God knows how long.
Correct.
That has actually been documented back in the day. We just all said, oh, they said sea monsters. It was just an eel. Or it was just a sea, like a lion or one of them fuck seal things. All that bullshit. Or the big squid. Yeah. No. These are sea monsters. They rode sea monsters on specific places.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got documentation. So now this thing starts hitting down. It's big enough to cause waves or whatever. I'm sure it's found plenty of food, making its way down the fucking whole waterway there. Now it's hitting Russia. I'm sure, we weren't the only ones that were bombing and putting shit in there. Everybody was. So now it gets that irradiated whatever in it, and it grows and gets bigger. Now, what do you think is going to happen once it hits around and comes around between California and Japan, where Fukushima fucking still leaks? Yeah. We got Godzilla. They're calling it Yarmungandr or Leviathan. My son's calling it Yarmungandr, the fucking world serpent or whatever. Either way, big fucking thing. And we don't know if it's real or not, because I've seen satellite images that look like a big ass head of a snake. I've seen AI that makes it look like a big eel, no less terrifying. But no. I mean,
listen, have you seen, there was I believe it was a helicopter in the Amazon, has pictures of a anaconda or snake-like thing in the water. So they were like 70 feet above ground. Okay. And the snake came out of the water and fucking went to get them. Okay. Almost got them. They're 70 feet. So, and just so you understand, like, you can watch a snake pivot from like a tree and shit like that, and they can go quite high. You're going, so if it could go 70 feet in the air, amount of body out of water, that's a good point. The amount of body it still needs to stabilize that kind of attack is still significant. So, look, there's also talk of lobster, because lobster, we can't figure out how, like, lobsters technically don't die, right? Like they just keep growing, theoretically, right? And also, I'm not sure if you heard about this, was I forget who it was that was studying this, was eels. Nobody knows how eels reproduce.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Now I looked that up because I seen a video on it, and the dude was like, nobody knows how eels reproduce. Nobody's. So I AI the question, how do eels reproduce? Now they'll tell you that scientists say that they drop eggs and then the male ones come and deliver the sperm like regular fucking fish do.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell you on anything else, you got to look into it, because it was on the second paragraph, that even though that's the way scientists say it happens, nobody's seen it. Nobody's documented it. They just assume it.
Right. So yeah, and the thing is that it's because eels all go to the Bermuda Triangle. Also, that's fucked up. And then they're eels. But hey, the crazier part, okay, is the person who was obsessed with figuring out how eels reproduce and couldn't do it, and literally was Sigmund Freud. Which you're like, bro, that guy should have stuck with eels. I mean, we all would have been better off. We all would have been better off. You should have figured that out. Maybe take up fishing. I don't know, but it's fucked up. It's a very weird thing, and this is where like you and I both know, and we've talked about this before, is the whole idea is like, the more you know you don't know. Right? Because knowledge is basically infinite. It does not stop. It just continues to grow. And even to the point where they've been talking about, where you're like, well, according to our physics, you're like, whoa. When did it become our physics? Up until now, it's been physics. And now you guys are going, well, it seems like there are things happening that we don't understand. You're going, wow, hold on. That means you guys are making a lot of assumptions. And then you find out, oh yeah, we don't know what's inside the earth. We have no fucking idea. We assume there's a ball of steel and magma and all sorts of things.
Yeah. You remember
we can't break the crust.
Remember the little picture in the school?
Oh yeah,
taken out, and it was the different colors of the orange.
Like, there's the orange, then the really deep orange, and then there was the red. There was the red, right? Yeah, no fucking idea. Nobody knows. So for all these assumptions, and you know what? Like that is really what it comes down to. Is I think we had a solid, dare I say, couple hundred years where scientists were like, well, that's how it has to be. And everyone just goes, oh, well, he's a scientist. You should believe him. And now we all realize, oh, no, Scientists are fucking retarded. Don't listen to them. They're all crazy. I explained this to some
cocaine in Coca-Cola. Scientists.
I mean, hey. Sometimes, hey, even a broken clock is right twice. Broken Coca-Cola is some good shit.
I mean, but scientists told barbers if they cut people's fucking wrists or under their fucking nails and bleed them out, that was going to save somebody. You know, I mean.
Yeah, this is and you know what? Like I've determined that all actual innovation, growth, and progress of society is built on tradesmen and craftsmen. Science is about reproduction,
right?
And I mean reproduction as in I want to remake what that fucker made without paying that fucker. Okay, it's about reproduction and making things cheaper. Those are the two things. And in actuality, you know what those mean? Fucking nothing. Okay, there's nothing. That's bullshit. Okay, you are paid fucking nothing. You are bullshit.
So
I think I might get his canceled today.
The reason why we're talking about these alien species or whatever is because there's videos going around now of this kid in Panama, a young man. I call him kid because he's younger than me. And before anything, the first thing people look at, or at least I did also, I looked at his page, and his page was, nothing special, no conspiracies, no politics. No, it was him out walking around in the woods or him with his animals, shit like that. Just somebody who wasn't really too much of an influencer or anything like that. So this kid put up a video that he saw, and this thing was documented. The fucking meteorite was they saw it shooting out the ground. He found where the meteorite hit. He was with somebody else. You could hear whoever in the background. But they went and they found where the meteor hit, and ground was on fire.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
And the only thing that was found in this big fucking hole was this little white stone. Looked like a potato.
Does look like a potato. That's accurate.
So he picked it up. He figured he was going to keep it for a rock collection or whatever. Mm-hmm. He brought it home, and he noticed within, I don't even think it was a day, something started growing on it. And so he put it on a kind of a plastic. It looked like maybe a butter tub lid or whatever, and put like an aquarium over the top of it. And he started doing little experiments on it. He like put a leaf on it. Apparently, it wilts and decays a leaf like almost instantly. In the light, a lot of people are saying that the light didn't affect it. I remember the first couple of videos that he did. Yeah. He said that it grows in the light. That's why he kept it in the dark most of the time. They showed the progression, and it's only of a few days that this thing starts to grow up off of this potato. Not out of it, off of it.
Yeah.
Which is even scarier. That means it was small enough that, this dude he was touching it with his bare hands at first.
Well, then it's cellular. It's yeah, who knows?
So, they showed this thing. The one that really got me was when the fucking little tentacle came off the side like a spider leg.
It did.
Started wiggling like that.
Yes. So
I'm like, what the fuck? So then the progression goes, it got big enough where he put it inside of a safe, and it was camera, like this fucking thing is moving inside of the safe, and it glows.
So they've also gone back to the site, and the ground is glowing at nighttime. So I just Googled. So if you Google, it's Panamanian alien venom. That's what you can Google, and all sorts of stuff will come up. However, on NDTV, whatever the fuck that is, they just said that a Reddit user has debunked it. Now, hold on, because it's the most bullshit explanation I've ever heard, and claiming it's a debunking is, first of all, like, I'm not saying it's real, but I'm just saying you haven't debunked shit, okay, Mr. fucking Bill Nye the Science Guy, who's not even a scientist, by the way. Just fucking say that shit. So he said, the most credible explanation so far, which, hey, remember, the most credible explanation that scientists have, oh, we evolved from monkeys. Go fuck yourself, okay? The substance was not alien at all, but a silicon-based polymer known as polydimethyl siloxane. Also, the acronym is PDMS, all caps, mixed with hexane, a common solvent. Now, he says, yeah, it would react that way if you put those two things together. Okay. Now, the problem with smart people, and Marco and I have made fun of people to no end about this, is smart people can't comprehend not understanding things. And this is where being humble and actually smart comes the thing. He's going, I don't know anything. I have no idea. And I let people explain. So it's the best part is when you say, oh, can you explain to me? Because I don't understand. Well, it's just how it's like, yeah, I know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to understand. So please explain it to me. And they can't. You know what that means? They don't have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Oh, you're also racist. Yeah. You're just racist. What are you talking about? I asked you for an explanation. Yeah. See, why do you need to cut off your wiener? You can just dress like a woman. I don't care.
Polymer thing.
Yeah.
I found I don't know how people are saying that's the most credible, because the most credible that I saw of somebody trying to debunk it, and it did not. There's a particular type of fungus.
Sure.
I forget what the fuck his name is. Canadera, some shit like that. That looks similar, only it is red and yellow. It is red with yellow spots. It looks similar to what this thing was in the beginning.
Yeah.
But this thing has evolved into, I mean, they're calling it venom for a reason. It looks like the fucking symbiote when it was before it attached itself to somebody. So, I mean, that to me would be a more credible thing. And even if it's fungus, this goes back to what I keep saying. The sentient fungus. This fungus came from space. You know, that fungus is nowhere near the area that's on the ground that's glowing.
So you said you like horror movies, yes? Yeah. Do you remember the movie The Blob?
Yes. Yeah, the original black and white or the remake?
Original black and white.
Yes.
And with the farmer, okay? Lands, looks like a rock. Puts a stick in it, lifts up the stick, starts coming down, turns the stick up before it touches him, and it. Now, if that ain't the exact same fucking shit, bro.
It seemed more like remember Stephen King was the comic book movie, the horror comic book movie. Not Tales from the Crypt, not Tales from the Dark Side. Creep Show. Stephen King played Geordie something or other, and a meteorite hit in his farm. Yeah. And he went out and he picked up the meteorite and he brought it home, and it pricked him on the finger, and he started growing grass and plants out of himself and all that shit. And finally, he looked like a big fucking weed nug, and he shot himself in the head.
So, listen, my thing is that re-entry from out of our atmosphere, whether you want to say space or not, let's just say re-entry, hot as fuck. But if you have something, which there are real things, real fungus like this, that all they need is one cell. And with the right food, which can be fucking who the goddamn knows, it will just slowly grow. Remember, there was a time on this planet where the bacteria that breaks down wood didn't exist. So there were just massive trees would just fall over and stay there forever and nothing would decay, right? Then you have things like fungus, bacteria, start breaking things down, and we find out that there are colonies of fungus who right now they've made some that have been able to play music. They figured out they communicate to each other using electrical impulses, and look, it's not a fucking sonata.
Robotics bodies.
they're attaching them to robots to see what they would do, and those things light shit up. That's fucking terrifying. And if it's coming from space, you know what that means? We're all fucked. That's basically what it means. What it means. I don't know. Hey, you know what? This is where it's important. I think that we just have to say, you got to just keep on living your life. You know what? You can get bogged down by all this shit. You can get bogged down by things that happen that don't affect you, but you have to just stop and focus on what do you have to do? What do I have to do today to make me better than I was yesterday? That's it. That's all you have to focus on. Everything else is bullshit.
And the weirdest thing, now the problem with this whole thing, the alien thing, and it goes to affecting everybody, is apparently this kid cut a piece off and gave it to a university.
That's a mistake. And fucking now, scientists, bro.
Now there's fucking people, you know, there's videos of him running. He's scared, supposedly. Now, mind you, this could all be fake. This could all be a hoax. This could all be just, you know, influencers trying to make their fucking clicks. But they show this kid, he's driving around with this thing inside of a safe. He's afraid. They show, I'm not sure if he gave it to whoever was out there. The last video I saw was he handed the fucking safe to somebody. They did not show their faces, but there was 2 cars outside, and he said that they found me. I'm taking this to him. So,
which is way worse.
Right. So now, if he doesn't have it anymore, or even, I mean, because if everybody's, I'm a big fucking comic book fan too, so, you know, all the movies, you cut you off a piece and keep a piece for yourself, if anything else. But again, if you have that frame of thinking, now you got 3 of these things, one of which is the big one. You sent one to a university, now you got one. Now you got 3 different places. Now, if this shit is real, that's going to end up in the U.S. That's going to end up in the U.S. One of them 3 pieces, and most likely all 3, the U.S. will kill over it. We know that. Those pieces are going to be here. Now, if these things are replicating and doing all this other shit, you know, that is going to affect everybody. Nobody's going to be worrying about whatever fucking OCK said or the fucking star, because these things are going to start taking over. And Lord forbid, these are fungus based, because they got a fucking army and technology to make them fucking mobile. If nothing else, you know, let one of them aliens hit one of them robots made for a mushroom. Even the computer that's made for the mushroom.
We're all gonna die. It's fine.
You know, I was thinking, you know, Futurama had one of the episodes. It was called on Poplars. Do you remember that episode?
Yeah.
They went to a planet, and they were supposed to evacuate the planet because, you know, that it was meant for extermination or whatever. And they were all hungry, and they happened to just look like chicken nuggets in the ground. And they ate one, and they fucking loved it, so they kept eating them. And people were getting addicted to eating these things. And then finally, the fucking aliens come down and say, "Hey, you're eating our babies."
Yeah.
So what happens if, you know, these things come down? This Atlas 31 comes down and says, the octopus are, you know, we were a nursery. We were genetically made here to take care of their babies.
Makes complete sense.
And now they come to find their babies, and we ate most of them. No, whether they be mushrooms, whether they be octopuses, whether they be whatever the fuck, because humans are known to eat everything, including themselves.
Yeah. We're fucked. Just so everyone knows. I want everyone to know specifically that we are not just a little bit fucked, we are so fucked. If anyone comes back and goes, "Hey, those were our kids," huh? We have a big problem. Big problem. But it's all right. I didn't do it.
So with that being said, tomorrow night we got mental health. We're gonna discuss the millennials and whatever else. I don't even know what they're calling them after the millennials. And their beef with the Gen Xers, and vice versa. And maybe we're gonna have a kind of mid-millennial. Come on, good buddy of mine, Tyler Snodgrass. He actually made the post that we're going to be discussing, which is very insightful and asks very valid questions. So he'll be here tomorrow night for mental health. Also, before we end this, all you guys, with the AI, Google AI, Grok, whatever the fuck you want to call it, see who would have benefited the most from CK's assassination. You'll be real surprised. Well, you might not be, but let's just say got something to do with them type of people right there.
And that's going to be The Last of Us on the internet for the rest of time, everyone. And I hear somebody knocking at my door. I'm sure they're friendly. No, it'll be fine.
$8 billion. That being said, this has been What the Fuck Wednesday. Come and check us out for mental health tomorrow night at 8:30. Hammered and Cheese is motherfucking Saturday.
Maybe.
Generation Dan is on fucking Sunday.
Hammered and Cheese is on hiatus from now on. It'll be something else. So I'm gonna just I'll cook. I'm gonna cook on Saturday. It's fine.
Dino's Delectables.
It's dinner by Dino. I like to say, but yeah, that's fine.
Dinner by Dino. Hey,
dinner by Dino.
There you go. So Saturday we'll have Dinner by Dino.
There you go.
So
simple and concise.
Yeah, and maybe he'll get a real fucking kitchen. Instead of cooking in that dollhouse of yours. How is your knife bigger than your whole kitchen? Your knife is bigger than your fucking stove. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, people are just going to assume you're like, you have an axe that you're cooking with. I'm like, I don't cook with an axe, but also I may get an axe. One of those little chopping axe. I might get that. But anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. It'll be fine.
Y'all be good to each other. We're out.
Later.
So what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah.